everyone! It's been a minute. Well, it's actually been a year. And a lot of yous are wondering, where is Biggering? You said it would come out in 2024 and it's now 2025. Well, for the best way to put it, is that I had been really busy all year with college. For my last year of study, I teamed up with my classmate Skynix Art, and a handful of my other classmates. We spent the whole year making an animated short as part of our curriculum. It was possibly the most challenging thing we had to endure for the entire academic year, and we created it all from scratch. After so many months of hard work, we actually came first place out of all the animated productions across UB College campuses in New Zealand. It was definitely quite a shock when our project was voted and selected for the Excellence Award by many different well-established and known people in the industry from New Zealand. Hopefully sometime in the near future I might be collaborating with Skynix about the production behind this project. Aside from the short, we also had to do other academic things like a whole bunch of papers and a investigative project. Here's some of the work I did for university. You can find the full animated trailer in the link in the description. So, finally, after 4 years of hard study, I finally graduate with the Bachelor of Animation. Yippee! However, after all the excitement, there had been quite a lot of hardships during my study that had made it very difficult to cope mentally and even physically. In early 2024, I had been thrown into very uncomfortable situations that had made my health spiral to a concerning level. Before school started, I had to scramble for accommodation, but had a lot of trouble. I either didn't get chosen for tenancy at a property, or I just wouldn't get calls or emails back from landlords or property owners. I had no choice but to apply for this one student accommodation 2 to 3 weeks before class started, which is kinda bad actually. If you're getting income from StudyLink, I'm talking about New Zealand StudyLink. I don't know what other providers in other countries are, but you know. You're supposed to have your application sent in by late December, but I couldn't send in my application for the student loan and allowance because I didn't have residency to put down in my form literally until mid-February. Anyways, when I moved in, it was super cramped. Like, this place was half the size of my classroom, and there was me and 14 other residents at this place. There was no place for yourself, no desks, just 15 beds amongst 5 rooms with 2 bathrooms with a small living room and a kitchen. My gosh, there wasn't even a working laundromat in the apartment block. Literally the nearest one was like a 30 to 40 minute walk, and bruh, I did not want to be carrying my laundry across town by foot or bus. And, you know, as an autistic person, this was an absolute nightmare for me. Luckily, the people I was with were actually super nice, and I hope they're doing well. But my god, I swear this place was maybe just teetering above what was considered illegal. It gets worse. So after 3 days of living there, I get a few emails from the property owner saying that I didn't pay my rent. So she charged me like, I think $300 for the days I was there, and late fees, which, you know, sucked hella ass. My dumbass thought I had already paid for my first week there because I don't know about you guys, but generally in New Zealand, I think landlords typically ask you for 1 to 2 weeks worth of rent with your deposit. Yeah, so that fucking sucked. So, since I didn't, you know, like this place at all from the get-go, I started looking for other places to move into. But after almost a week of looking and my flatting group falling apart because I couldn't get my deposit back, I noticed I wasn't getting paid by StudyLink and just went into a full-blown panic attack because I was quickly running out of money I had saved up over the holidays to set me for the first week or so in the city. I genuinely thought I was going to get kicked out of my accommodation for not being able to pay rent. So I threw in the towel and called to my family to pick me up and take me home. But because of this decision, I broke my contract. and lost my deposit and had to pay an early leave fee. So I basically lost about $1,000. It was a disaster, really. I had to wait and save up money again to move back into the city when there was a place available where I didn't have to share a bedroom at least. But for the first semester, half of my classes were online, and it made me think, what is the point of moving back to the city and paying, $250 a week for a shitty apartment when you're only required to come onto campus twice a week? So I had to make the decision and not come back and continue my studies from home. And it was miserable. All of the sudden stress from different factors and the financial choice to not be at campus physically to learn and see my friends took a massive toll on me. I became depressed because I was isolated, but then I became too depressed that I withdrew myself and just didn't have energy the majority of the time to be social. I suddenly felt like a completely different person to who I was months prior. I could barely pick up my pen and draw. Every time I'd look at myself in the mirror, I just have dark circles under my eyes, even though I would sleep like 12 hours a day. I just felt completely useless. I struggled a lot with my university work, especially with the writing aspect. So because I was struggling so hard with my health, I had to decide to put the biggering project on hold until I finished university, because I needed to reserve what energy I had for my education and the group project. I've unfortunately had a long history of mental health complications. I had actually been diagnosed with dysthymia, which is a chronic form of depression, so it means for the rest of my life, I will have to be on medication and be encouraged to keep in contact with therapists and counselors to manage my well-being. I feel really lucky that my tutors and animation group was quite understanding of my situation, because dealing with reoccurring mental health complications can be super hard to open up about, and how it affects every aspect of your life, like your school, your job and career, your friends and family, your physical well-being, your hobbies and interests, and just so much more. Well, even after all that, I'm slowly on my path to becoming somewhat okay again. I know I won't ever be cured from my condition, but I'm just trying to go back into a state where I can work on the project without constantly feeling fatigued. And obviously, I should say this, aside from mental health struggles, animation takes a very long time to do. And this is a project I've taken upon to work on in my free time. I'm currently the only person animating this, and I do thankfully have a team of background artists and even a post-production assistant to help. I do have a plan of what happens after I finish the music video. I've thought about making a video based on the entire production of my biggering animation, from the design choices, my process in animation and editing, all that jazz. I've even thought about releasing a free non-profit art book for you guys to read that includes all of the art and commentary in it. Why? Because I'm such a big fan of looking at all the stuff that goes in behind the scenes of animated stuff. I mean, come on. I didn't spend 4 years at an animation college for nothing. Until then, if you guys want to keep up with my progress on this, I have a Discord server. So thank you guys for your patience on this project. Hopefully, I don't take forever on this.